raised were very, very minute, and then we adjusted it, and it's now in the main bill. Mr. President, one of the observations we raised is, number one, instead of the agency going directly to the presidency to get approval, they now say they should go through the minister in the agency, so that the agency will submit their report to the ministry, and the minister will not take it to FEB. And we have already amended that observation. Secondly, there is a proposed, one of the second one, I just pick about 3 or 4 to explain to my colleague. It is subject to the provision of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act. Ensure consumer protection and the Act number 1, 2018, quality of services in the regulated transport sector. In case of any conflict between this Act and any other sector legislation on the economic regulatory function, the power of the Commission, the provision of this Act shall prevail. That was the initial provision. And then the amendment and then the observation that they asked us to do, which we have done, is subject to the provision of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act. Ensure Consumer Protection Act number 1, 2018, quality of service provided the regulated transport sector. In case of any conflict between this Act and any other legislature on the economic regulatory function, the power of the Commission, the provision of the Act shall prevail. And lastly, another one that they raised is under the clause 3. Upon commencement of this Act, the Nigerian Shippers Council, as the interim economic regulator for the port and the relevant and qualified staff together with the person employed by any other legacy agency as may be required by the Commission, are transferred to the Commission and deemed to form the initial staffing of the Commission in line with the provision as contained under this Act. That is, as it affects matters under this Act, in particular as set out in the 3rd schedule. And the amendment and then the observation that they asked us to do, which we have done, is upon the commencement of this Act, the Nigerian Shippers Council, as the interim economic regulator for the port and its relevant and qualified staff together, with such number of persons employed by any other legacy agency as may be required by the Commission, are transferred to the Commission and deemed to form the initial staffing of the Commission in line with the provision contained under this Act, insofar as it affects matters under this Act, and in particular as it is out in the 3rd schedule. This is what happened to the old 33 clauses, which we have already done, sir.
Any comments? You are the DSP.
Mr. President, Omo Agege, Delta Central District. Mr. President, my comment is might be a little bit cosmetic, but it is in line with our recent extant practice dealing with the power of appointment of the chairman and the chief executive of these parastatals. Mr. President, I take you to page 65. Sorry, page 6. That would be clause number, which would do this? 8. Subsection 3. It says the chairman and members page 6. Yes, page 6.
Go ahead.
No, but he needs to. Huh? He's the one that will rule on it. Now. If he doesn't need to see it, he can't.
Albert, allow us to continue with our proceedings. Please step aside.
Senator Albert, you are protected. He needs to be protected. Okay, DSP.
Page 6, Mr. President. That will be the stakeholders column, I believe. Subsection 3. It says, the chairman and members shall be appointed by the president on the recommendation of the minister. Mr. President, in line with our recent extant practices, you should just read, the chairman and members shall be appointed by the. We don't need to specify on the recommendation. The president is free to receive advice and recommendation from the minister or anybody, but we should not write it into the law. We've made this argument severally, and I think this chamber has brought it severally in most of the bills that have come before us. So I think we should just make that amendment. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, well, it's when we come to the clause by clause consideration. Favorably. So, is there any?
Mr. President, in view of the fact that observation that we have made last week on this very important bill has now been satisfied, and amendments and observations made by Mr. President has received the support of members of this distinguished chamber, I rise to a motion that the Senate resolves in the Committee of the Whole to adopt this report. I so submit.
Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I so second.
The so much colleague to consider aye. Those against any, the ayes have it. This is now a refined but let me also mention this. Maybe we should find a way around it as quickly as possible. We may adopt the amendment sought by the DSP. We did that previously, and the House did not do like we did. They maintained on the advice of the minister. So we need to do something, and I think this may be at a leadership level for us to engage with the House. Otherwise, on this little thing, we have to be setting up harmonization committees. And of course, it's worth it, but it's going to be eating into our resources. If we agree with the House that this we should be doing, and we should be able to convince them that whenever they have something like this, they should treat it, remove the advice of the minister, so that we don't have to be going into harmonization or conference committee because of just this simple thing. So we'll talk to them, DSP. I think we need to engage them so that we'll be on the same page all the time when it comes to this one. Those who know that clause 1, clause 2, clause 3, clause 4, establishment of the National Transport Commission, clause 5, functions and powers of the commission, stand part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Those who are at clause 6, consultation, on page 5. Clause 7, relationship of the commission with the minister. Clause 8, membership of the commission. Clause 8, DSP.
Clause 8, subsection 3, is to be amended to read: the chairman and members shall be appointed by the president, period, and seek the deletion on the recommendation of the minister. I so move.
Put again.
Yes, sir.
Those who are at clauses 6 and 7, stand part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Those who are at clause 8, as amended, stand part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 9, clause 10 is on page 8. Clause 11, remuneration and allowances. Clause 12, clause 13, and clause 14. Stand part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 15, executive commissioners, on page 11. Clause 16, the secretary to the board. Clause 17, clause 18, clause 19, and clause 20, application of surplus revenue. Stand part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 21, borrowing powers, on page 13. Clause 22, annual reports. Clause 23, budget and expenditure. Clause 24, financial year and audit of commission's accounts. Those in favor of those clauses stand part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 25, on page 15. Regulations. Clause 26, clause 27, clause 28, clause 29, and clause 30. Stand part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 31 on page 18. Filing and publication of tariffs or charges by the Commission. Clause 32, clause 33, clause 34, clause 35, and clause 36 stand part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 37 is access on page 22. Clause 38, clause 39, clause 40, clause 41, and clause 42, hindering access. Those in favor of those clauses stand part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 43 is inquiry about a significant infrastructure facility on page 25. Clause 44, clause 45, clause 46, clause 47, clause 48, clause 49, and clause 50 stand part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 51, Commission's power on competition matters, on page 29. Clause 52, clause 53, clause 54, clause 55, Clause 56, Clause 57, Clause 58, Clause 59, and Clause 60 on page 34. Those in favor that those clauses stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay, the ayes have it. Clause 61 on page 35, modification of directives. Clause 62, Clause 63, Clause 64, Clause 65, Clause 66, Clause 67, Clause 68, Clause 69, Clause 70 on page 39. Those in favor that those clauses stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay, the ayes have it. Clause 71, conduct of investigation on page 39. Clause 72, Clause 73, Clause 74, Clause 75, Clause 76, Clause 70, Clause 78, Clause 79, and Clause 80 on page 45. Those in favor that those clauses stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay, the ayes have it. Clause 81 is on page 46, financial and business records. Clause 82, Clause 83, Clause 84, Clause 85, Clause 86, Clause 87, Clause 88, Clause 89, and Clause 90, judicial review of decision on page 50. Those who are those clauses stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay, the ayes have it. Clause 91, right of appeal on page 50. 2, 3, 4, Clause 95, Clause 96, Clause 97, Clause 98, Clause 99, Clause 100 on page 53, personal liability. Those who are those clauses stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay, the ayes have it. Clause 101, disclosure of information is an offense on page 53. 102, 103, 104, 105, 107, 108. Those who favor that those clauses stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay, the ayes have it. Those who favor that the interpretation on page 58 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay, the ayes have it. Those who favor that the short title stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay, the ayes have it. Those who favor that the schedules 1 and 2 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay, the ayes have it. Those who favor that the long title on page 1 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay, the ayes have it. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, I rise to move a motion that the chair reports progress. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion that the Senate reverse to plenary for the chair to report progress say aye. Those against say nay, the ayes have it. The Senate and the Committee of the Whole considered the National Transport Commission establishment, ETC Bill 2022, and approved as follows. Long title as recommended, Clause 1 to 7 as recommended, Clause 8 as amended, Clause 9 to 108 as recommended, interpretation as recommended, short title as recommended, Schedules 1 and 2 as recommended. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? The Senate.
The third time. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that this bill be now read the third time, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act providing investigation bureau for the prevention and effective for safety investigation and for related matters 2022 as we are
An act to establish the National Transport Commission to model equality and provide for a legal matters 2020 being taken and the bill is passed. Congratulations, Leader of the Senate.
I stated at the order of the day, the presentation of the report of the Committee on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, on the screening for appointment as National Commissioners and Resident Electoral Commissioner, as they are as follows. 1. Malam Muhammad Haruna, Naja, North Central, National Commissioner. 2. Mrs. May Agbamuche Umbu, Delta, South, National Commissioner. 3. Okay Namdi, Abia, Southeast, National Commissioner. 4. Major General A.B. Al-Ali, retired, Adamawa, Northeast, National Commissioner. 5. Engineer Professor Rhoda H. Gomus, Bayelsa, South, National Commissioner. 6. Mr. Sam Elumekun, Ondo, Southwest, National Commissioner. 7. Olani Olale Ijalaye, Ondo, Southwest, Resident Electoral Commissioner. Distinguished senators will recall that the request of the Operator Commander in Chief will refer to the committee on Wednesday, 15 December 2021. Mr. President, you may wish to invite distinguished Senator Kabir Ibrahim Gaya, Chairman of the INEC Committee of the Senate, to move the motion for the presentation and consideration of the report.
Distinguished Senator Kabir Ibrahim Gaya.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am Kabir Gaya, representing the people of Kano South from Kano State. Mr. President, I would like to move motion that the Senate do receive and consider the report of Committee on Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, on the confirmation of the nomination of the following persons for appointment as National Commissioners and one resident Electoral Commissioner for Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. I so move, Mr. President.
Yes. Very distinguished Ladi.
Distinguished colleagues, Nora Ladi, the Plateau South Senatorial District. I arise to support and to second the motion that the report on the Senate Committee on Independent National Electoral Commission be presented. I so second, Mr. President.
Those in favor of the motion do receive and consider the report of the Committee on National Electoral Commission, INEC, information of the nomination Electoral Commissioner for Independent National Electoral Commission. Say aye. Those against any, the ayes have it. Chairman, you may lead the report, please. You may present the report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, the Senate at its sitting December 2021 considered the request of Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for confirmation of the underlisted nominees for appointment in national commissioners and resident electoral commissioner for the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), and in its wisdom, the Senate referred same to this committee through a referral order dated 21st December 2021 for further judicial action. The confirmation of the nomination for the appointment of nominations are as follows: Malam Muhammad Haruna, Niger. Order. No Central National Commissioner.
Please, distinguished colleagues, let's listen to our colleague in silence, and we should be discussing in low tones as our standing orders provide for.
Mr. President, number one, Mohammed Haruna from Niger State, North Central National Commissioner. Mrs. May Umbu, Delta South National Commissioner. Kebu Kenneth Mandi, Abia Southeast National Commissioner. Major General A.B. Al-Ali, retired, Adamawa Northeast National Commissioner. Professor Rhoda H. Gumus, Bayelsa South National Commissioner. Mr. Sam Olumekun, Ondo Southwest National Commissioner. And Olani Olali Ijalai, Ondo Southwest Resident Electoral Commissioner of the Independent National Electoral Commission was made under the provision of Section 1531F of the Constitution. Further, this request was made pursuant to the provision of Section 1541 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, which requires the appointment of chairman and members of any of the bodies so established under Section 1531 shall be made by the President, and the appointment shall be subject to confirmation by the Senate. President, there are nomination of 6 national commissioners and 1 resident electoral commissioner. We have invited them, sir, screen them, discuss with them on their program by security clearance and other relevant documents on all of them. Starting